and today we're going to talk about something called networking. Now, first let me ask you, how many of you have heard the term networking? How many of you have heard that term? Okay, so some of you have. Yeah, it looks like several of you. Somebody tell me, that term networking, what do you know about that? What are some of your thoughts or ideas about networking? Okay.
Yên này nghe khó luôn.
My opinion, I
Em
think
quen
we
mà.
use our kind of small talk to help us engage with maybe strangers, and therefore we can form a beautiful relationship with them after that.
Okay, that's a great way of talking about networking. We use small talk to help us have a conversation with strangers, and that can lead into a friendship, into some kind of relationship that's going to be meaningful or important to us. Anybody else have a thought on networking? A thought on networking. Yes, we have this is my friend Ellen. She's from America. And where are you from in America, Ellen?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah. Okay, go ahead and share what you were going to say.
I really like what she had to say, and not only just meeting certain people and engaging in conversation with them, but also those people could introduce you to someone else that
Yeah.
you never met,
Yeah.
and you develop relationships with them as well.
Yeah.
So it can continue on and on.
Yeah.
The networking process, one person can lead to another, can lead to another,
Yeah.
and to really help you, to assist you.
That's a good way of understanding networking also, is that you may meet one person,
Quay vài đoạn.
but that person has another friend that they may introduce you to that other friend. And then they have another friend that they'll introduce you to. And so you may meet one person, but that will multiply, that will grow into many more relationships and friendships. And so that's another important idea about networking. Now today we're going to talk about networking and how that can help us in our careers, how that can help us in our life goals and career goals. So when we're talking about networking, we're talking about the circle of people that we know, and these people, the people that we know, the circle of people or the group of people that we know, these are people that we share information with, experiences with, both on a social level and also on a professional level. So the circle of people that we know in our life, we tell them information about ourselves. They get to know us, and we get to know them. They find out what are some of our dreams, what are some of our goals, what are some things that we are good at, what are some of our strengths. So these are people that we share information with, we share experiences with them, and we can know them as a friend or we can know them as a professional. When we network for the purpose of career development, so we're talking about networking with the purpose of wanting to grow in our career, in our professions, or to find out even what we want to do as far as a career. Some of you may still be in school and you're wanting to discover, what am I good at? What do I want to do? So when networking for the purpose of career development, this means talking with friends, family members, and acquaintances about our goals, our interests, and our dreams. So we want them to know us that will help you. They may give you advice. They may give you, that you may be able to ask them questions because they may have a career that interests you and you want to find out more about their career. Or these may be people that will be able to help you find jobs. So these are, when we're networking, we're talking with friends, with family members, and other acquaintances that we're going to share our goals with them, our interests with them, our dreams with them. So today, what are we going to learn? We're going to learn the process of networking and how it's important for career development. So we're going to learn how it works, how networking works, and why it's important. And we're also going to learn about taking initiative and overcoming fear. So if there's some things about networking that could create fear in us, and we want to learn how to overcome that so that we can be good at networking. And then we want to also talk about how we grow our network, how we expand, and the people that we know in our life. So first, we're going to talk about the process and the importance of it. I really like this diagram, and I think it's a great way of thinking about networking. Now, let me just ask you, when you see this diagram, would anybody like to explain why this diagram is a good example of a network? Does anybody have any thoughts that you'd like to share about why this diagram, this picture, is a good example of networking? Any thoughts? Okay.
So like everybody can see in the diagram, so like we see many ponds, and every pond we can see the line in the pond, and it connect every pond in the one the same pond. And it's also, it leads to me think about the connect with the people. When we can, think that a pond as a people, as a person, so we can see the network with every pond and every people in this diagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yes. So we can think about each point or each circle is a person. And let's say the red circle is you. Okay? This is you. And they know each other. And we know, so we have this triangle. But then also, let's say I know this person. And then from this person, there are all of these other points, but they're all connected. They're connected. This one is connected here, and this one is connected here, and this one is connected up there. And there's all these connections, but they also all come back to me. And so my relationship, I may have first met this person, and then maybe I met this person, and then maybe I met this person, and then I got connected with all these other people because of my friendships, and then they have other friends that have connected me with all of these other circles. Does that make sense? So networking, that's an example of how networking can happen in our lives. I remember we had friends in America, and we would go. Their names were Miss Kathy was the woman's name, and we would go to another city, maybe hundreds of miles away, or a long distance away from us where we lived, and we would meet somebody, and they would say, "Oh, we know Kathy," and I'd go, "You know Kathy?" And they go, "Yes, we know Kathy." And I'd think, "Oh my goodness, here I am, a far distance away from my home, and now I found someone else who knows my friend Kathy." And there was an instant friendship because we both knew Kathy, and we could talk about Kathy. And there was a friendship. We were able to be connected together in a friendship because we both knew Kathy. So we were not strangers anymore. We were like friends because because Kathy was my friend and Kathy was this other person's friend. And so that's an example of what networking can be like. So networking happens when we talk to neighbors, when we volunteer for a group, when we participate in events, whether it's school or work or something with our family or some kind of social event, when we have coffee or a meal with friends, with family, we're visiting. When we connect with friends, even online, a social network, that's a type of networking. When we start a conversation with a stranger, when we're shopping or we're in an elevator, and we just start a conversation, a simple conversation, well, that we are doing networking because we are increasing the people that we know in our life. We're increasing the people that we know. So this can be, and sometimes we can think, oh, that's just, I'm just being nice and saying hi to someone. But also, you're increasing the number of people who you talk to and you have some kind of a relationship with. It may be a very small relationship, but once you talk with them and you ask them questions and they ask you questions and you learn something about each other, you're not strangers anymore. You have started to know something about each other, and you're not strangers anymore. And that relationship, it can grow. If you see them more, if you spend more time with them, it can grow from this small relationship into something bigger. And so the first point of networking is learning how to get over that fear of talking to strangers and introducing yourself. And we'll talk about that more today. So this is how networking happens. Talking with people in every area of our life. So some advantages of networking. Well, it increases the people that we know, and it increases the people who know us. We're not strangers to those people anymore. And it can also open up job opportunities that are not advertised. Someone in a conversation can learn that you have a certain skill. or you have a certain desire to work in a certain kind of job. And they may know someone who is looking for an employee. They may know of a job that's open. They may know of something that can help you get that job, and you learn about that by talking with people, by having a relationship with people. And so this can be very important in opening up job opportunities for us, job options that we do not always know just through website searches or advertisements that we read about jobs. But it can come through people that we know. It can come, let me go back. Maybe this is you, and you decide, I don't know, what's a job somebody would like to have? Let's say that again?
Hotel manager.
Okay, hotel manager. So let's say this is you, and you want to be a hotel manager. And so this is someone you know, a friend or a classmate or maybe a colleague, someone you know. And this person's, you're telling them, I want to be a hotel manager. That's one of my dreams. I want to do that. I am preparing to be a hotel manager, and I am going to start looking for that job. So this friend says, you know what? My cousin knows somebody who's a hotel manager. Maybe they can help you. And so your friend talks to their cousin, who talks to their friend who's a hotel manager. And then this friend says, you know, I am a hotel manager, and I just learned about a hotel in Hoi An who is looking for a hotel manager. And so they talk to their friend.